Hello everyone and welcome to our scrapbook on Thursday, scrapbooking free class. And I love putting our memories together, our photos together. We don't want to leave them on our phone, really, do we? We want to put them out there so that the kids can see them. Well, I've chosen a few boys ones today, boys photos. So this is little Frankie and he's got written up here, it's his first 3-year-old kinder. And then texts his brother, his first grade 3. So these are my great-grandchildren. So we are going to put a double layout together. So I'm using some of the paper, the DSP paper that I've been using over the last few weeks, and I want to use it up, and it's got the blue in it, and I thought, I can add a bit of red, I can add a bit of the bug paper because I've been doing the bug one for the post out in March, which is all finished now, so I can use the scraps up. So that's exciting. So let's get started. Let's come down. Sorry I didn't get my notification up today. I wrote it out and then got a phone call and forgot to post it. So my notifications didn't go through. So I'm using the blue, and this has got gold, but I'm using my 12 by 12 white, and I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to cut a little bit off this one. So I'm thinking maybe 1 inch on 2 sides. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off, and you can always use these strips throughout the page anyhow, and then flip it around and cut 1 inch. Okay, and then we're going to build up our page with my scraps. I've got lots of scraps, and I keep my scraps for scrapbooking because it is really, really great. So I'm going to stick this one on first, and we're going to stick as we go along. So if you come on and this is your first time, my name is Teresa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Warragul in Victoria. Have been for 19 years and just love creating and sharing both scrapbooking and card making. Paper craft is a bit of a passion of mine. Is it a passion of yours? Tell me in the comments. And if you're watching this on the replay or over on YouTube, welcome if it's your first time with me. And don't forget to leave a comment from where you are, leave your name, what you do, whether you do scrapbooking or card making. Okay, let me give you the measurements because I'll give it to you in inches because it's 11 by 11. So 11 by 11 piece of any designer series paper that you have. Then you need to work out another layer underneath, and I've got this scrap here. This is 8.5 by 9. Now when you've got scraps, check to see what way your pattern's going. Hi Sandra. Because that's important. You don't really want it going that way with the flowers. You want it going this way. So let's put that page down. I'm just building layers on layers. You can even use this side if you want to, but it's too much gold for me. For boys, for little boys, I want to use the blue, the soft side. So great-grandsons, they need a little bit of blue. The background gold is lovely, but we can tone that down with layers. Okay, so when you've done this, we need to actually then work out what we're going to do next. And I have this little scrap in which we can use the blue side, or we can use the white and gold. And I'm sort of thinking the white and gold for the simple reason is it tones in the white that will be on the page as well, so it's not all just blue. So we're going to put this little square up here, and I'll give you the measurements of this because you can cut these into sizes that you want. I'm just going to have a little bit of a border on this side, and I'm having it up above. This one is, I had a couple of this size, so I can't remember what I cut. It was a scrapbook page. So 5 3/4 down. So you can write the measurements down. You can cut this out into any designer series paper by 4 inches. So 4 inches by 5 3/4. So now we've got our layers all starting to happen. Layers are great when you want to use scraps, because when you're doing cards, you do often get, like this one, lots of little strips, okay? Because it's a boy, I'm not going to use this line. I'm going to use the bugs, because boys like bugs, don't they? Well, sort of. And I'm going to put this into bringing this down a little bit. So I'm sort of going to bring it to the edge of the blue. So it's going to go in here, in this section. Now this measurement is, let me measure it up here. Oh, not quite. It's 9, no, it's 10. Probably about 10 inches by about 4 inches. I usually, if it's a little bit longer, I try to cut it to a 3/4, a half, a quarter, or to the inch. So if it's like, so it's not in between, because then that way if people want to follow or recut it into their papers, they still can, because it's a great little template. So I'm going to bring it down to the blue. So I'm going to bring it right down to the blue here, and just put that up here. So now we're sort of making that change in that page. Now we can bring in some of this. We can cut this down a little bit if we want to, or we can have the same measurement. I'm just going to see what measurement it is. It's 3, so I can keep it at 3. And it's 9.5, so that's a good measurement. 3 inches by 9.5 inches is a good measurement, and this is going to come in over this section here. So I'm quite happy to keep that as it is because it's a pretty good size measurement. So we're going to come in and we're going to, you can put it more over this way if you only want a little bit of white showing. You can bring it more over this way. If you want more of the bugs showing, you can come in and bring it so the bugs are showing a little bit. So I'm going to bring it in about there. Let me turn it around so you can sort of see what it's looking like now. So we've got our white 12 by 12, then we've got a designer series paper, then the next one, then our next one, next one, next one. So they go in steps when you're doing it in layers. Now I had a lot of this left from the bugs, and I thought, well, I can either put it this way with the mushrooms, or I can bring it this way, which brings a little bit of red out, which I'm thinking I'll go this way because it sort of picks up the red. And red's good for boys. I think so. So I'm sort of thinking, where do I really want to place this on here? And I'm sort of thinking I want a bit of this showing on both sides. So I'm going into this section here, I think. Now, I don't remember what this size is. Let's measure it again. This one, oh, it's 8.5. Nearly, so I'm going to keep it, but I would mark it at 8.5 by, or nearly 6. So I'm going to keep it at that. I'm not going to cut it any smaller. 8.5 by 6. I would cut your next one out. Okay, let's pop this one down. I'm sort of coming in, I'm sort of using that bug here to line this up here and the little butterfly down the bottom. So I get them in. Now, you can do 6 by 6. You can do 6 by 6 horizontal or a 6 by 6 vertical. That's entirely up to you. Now, this is, I think, will be Frankie's page. So I've printed out Frankie's photos. Who's got one of those little printing machines? I love it. It's a Canon. I got it from Harvey Norman, and I just can print out whatever I want on the day. And the photos are absolutely beautiful. You can choose borders, which I don't, because I always like to trim my photos if I have to. And you can have semi-gloss, which I've got semi-gloss or gloss or whatever you want. I love it. Just so wonderful not having to run down to print photos out every time I do a scrapbook page. This was my Christmas present to myself out of my Stampin' Up money this year. I wanted to get something that was going to be useful for me sharing what I love online, and this is what I got. So we can actually, I keep these just for samples to show you where you can put, if I was just doing a display, I would put that there if I didn't have the photo, but I'm going to have a photo there. So we're going to measure the photo to make sure that the photo is the right size. So it is 4 inches or 10 centimeters by 5 3/4, just over 5 3/4, nearly 14.5. So let's make it 5 3/4, because then we can cut a mat at 6. And let's have a look at this. We want to make sure that that's 4, just a little bit. So 4.5 by, what did I say? 6. 4.5 by 6. So let's grab some Misty Moonlight, because that's the colour that's sort of in there. I like that. Or you could go with yellow, or you could go with red, whatever colour you wanted to. So we're going to go 6 by, make sure that you're 4 1/4. 6 by 4 1/4. This will give it a mat around the photo. You don't have to put a mat around your photo. That's entirely up to yourself. Okay, so this can go in there, and it sort of matches the blues, so I like that. I love that our liquid glue is acid free, so you won't yellow your photos, and that's an important thing. You don't want your photos to go yellow. You don't want acid in your adhesive, so make sure when you're scrapbooking that you have got acid free and lint free paper, which we have got in our designer series paper and cardstock, and make sure your glue can be used. That's an important thing. Now we can put this wherever we want to on the page. We can have it over this side, which is really cute. You can have it over this side, wherever. Now I had some scraps here as well in that colour, which is awesome, because the Misty Moonlight sort of went with this. So I can go like this and bring this in. So I was looking at some stamp sets and looking at the words. Don't forget about our beautiful Stampin' Positioner. If you want one of them and you want to join my team, go ahead. Love to have you. Let's have you make me smile. I just grabbed different stamp sets that had lovely sayings on them that we can use. I love the lovely bloom, but let's put that there for a minute. You make me smile. Let's put that in there. I love the different words and that you can use. Okay, well, let me use this positioner. Yes. Why not? I've got it sitting here, so let's use it. This is our new Stampin' Positioner, and if you join during this month, you get this absolutely free. You just need to place a $169 order, and you can receive $235 worth of products for free, plus free postage. It's a really win-win, and you get to join Team on the Run. So there's a little arrow going up between these points here, between your 13 and your 7. You can slide your card up into that area, put your magnets down. You make me smile, so we can sort of bring it over this way a little bit and make sure the magnets are on nice and tight. I love these magnets because they're flat and they're sort of flatter than the actual stamp, so they don't get in the way. You've got two little holes here, you've got little springs here. These got little springs on them here, so you just can pop this down and spring and pick that up. It does lift the card just to start off with. Okay, and make sure that your card's back where you want it, if it does move a little bit. Okay, so we're going to come in with, I think, a grey granite ink because it's not as harsh as black. And we've got a lot of other blues on here, so let's go with this one. Oh, no we won't. Oh, yes we will. It's inking up. That's all right. Couldn't see it inking. The good thing about this, it doesn't matter if you get ink around on here, because it's not going to touch your paper at all. Just press down and lift up. You make me smile. Now, if you think you want to do that again, you can. You can ink him up and do him again. And that's the good thing about a positioner, is that if you want it a little bit darker, you can do that. So down we go. And press straight back down on top of it. And look how beautiful that is. Just gorgeous. With my little demo today. Absolutely cute as. You make me smile. Now I did that size because over to the right a little bit, because as you can see it's bigger than the blue, but I'm going to make these edges. So my blue is 4 by 2 1/4, and my white is 4 1/4 by 2. You can cut your white down if you want to. That's not a problem. You can dimension this up too if you want to. So I'm just going to do it like this for the moment. You make me smile. Now sometimes you might want to add something else to this, or oh, my fingers are slipping. Or you can leave it plain if you want to, or you can add some little embellishments or whatever you like on here as well. So I'm sort of thinking you make me smile in here, and I'm bringing it down here because that way if I want to bring in some hidden journaling up here, like in this section here, I can put in some hidden journaling in there. So I'm just going to put this in here for the moment. You make me smile. So we're going to put our photo down. I'm hoping to get the second page done really, really quick because I won't have to explain as much. So we're going to come in, I think I'm going to drop it down a little bit because I want that little bit of red at the top. And I think I'm going to line it up into that gingham. Then I'm going to, before I press that down really hard, I'm going to put some glue on here. And as you see, I didn't press this down really hard yet because I want to pop this in here. Now you can decorate this up with bugs, dinosaurs, whatever you want on the page. But let's get started on our second page. Oh, I've got lots of scraps here too. So we need to cut this down like we did last time. An inch and an inch. Inch and an inch. Now the measurements on this might not quite be the same as the first one, but you've got the measurements, so do both the same, or you can just do them a little bit different if they're different in sizes. You can leave them that little bit more if it's like a 1/4 of an inch bigger or whatever. So grab a 12 by 12 white and make sure you have this the way you want it, the way that looks appealing to you. I think that way. Okay, so glue this down. And this time we're doing text on this one. He's in grade 3. So all these great grandkids, they grow up so fast. They really do. And then I didn't have enough of this light blue like I put on the other one, but I had this piece, and then I had a little bit off this piece that was a strap that I used on the other one. So I'm going to use this one on here for text. It will look a little bit different, but that's okay. It's like I said, I didn't want all the gold because it's just too much, but it's roughly the same size as the one that I put on Frankie's page. So I'm just going to go like that. I'm just going to show you Frankie's again, because here on Frankie's I've put this one and I've put this as a strip. I've got a bit narrower strip here, but I'm going to use it on that one because that's all I've got left of this. So like I said, it doesn't matter if they're a little bit different, the layout can be similar. So I had one of these, so this is a little bit longer, this one, but that's okay. We can still use it on this page. So this is going to go in next. And then we have our bugs, which is coming in probably around here down to this line the same. So it sort of matches a little bit too. Add some glue. So we're going to bump that up to the white one and bring it down to the end of the Blue Designers Series paper. And then, like I said, this one's a bit narrower than the one on the other one, but it's going to be placed a little bit differently. It's going to be placed right from the top to the bottom because it's just the long piece that I had left. So I'm just going to use it. It makes the pages eye-catching because they're very similar, but they don't have to be exactly the same, okay? But they're eye-catching. So we can move this right over a little bit if we want to, because come up a little bit to in here. And then this piece is a little bit different in length, but that's okay too. We can bring this in here. So like I said, it doesn't matter if they're just a bit smaller or a bit bigger, as long as you sort of get that similar layout, it's okay. So this is going to go, I'm sort of working this out. I think I want it under those bugs. And then I've got bugs down here as well. Okay, and then you've got your 6 by 5. So we're going to cut out another, we're going to do Tex's photo this time. So here's Tex's photo. So we're going to, and I love that you can just print what you want each day. I love the fact that I don't have to keep printing out a lot of photos and then working out what I want. I look at the page or look at the paper or I look at the photo and go, okay, this is what I'm making today. I'm doing it about the kids' school because I did Addie's first day of school last week. So I'm doing the boys. And then next week I've got my older great-grandsons that are also at school. Logan's first year of high school. So kids grow up so fast, don't they? So we're going 6, so that you can see is going to be not the right size. So we're going to turn it around this way and go 6. And then we're going to turn it around and we're going to do 4 1/4. Like I said, you can do them horizontal, you can do them vertical. It's entirely up to you. These ones here I just keep as my guides for photos. They're 6 by 4. So I sort of keep them there all the time that I can put them on and place them so I sort of know where I want them. So we're going to bring Texas photo in over this side this time. We're going to do his a little bit differently. We're going to bring it in up here, I reckon, about there. Because we're going to have like stepping up a little bit there. So we're going to go this way. But I'm not going to press this side down very heavy yet because we're going to put, where am I going to go? I want to go up. Oh, I want a little bit of red, don't I? Yeah, I think I'll go here. Okay, yes, I know. It's hard sometimes, you've got to work it out. And then just make sure you can still push this in here. Okay, move that out of the way. Now then, who's got the product of the month? This beautiful stamp set, Fabulous Sayings. And I reckon I saw You Can Do Anything. And I think that's Tex. He can do anything. You can do anything. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Tex is one of those kids that I reckon could do anything. You could do anything. He sets his mind to, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, so let's add this to our little Stamparatus as well. So you can add it either way. You can. Last time I had it coming towards me, but this time I'm going to put it this way. And you can do anything. So yeah, we want it to come more to the left side this time because the right side's going to tuck in. Okay, hopefully we're not going to go too much longer. I'm going to take the word off here that I just used because we don't want that one on as well. Turn it around. Pick our word up. Hold my paper down if I can. No, slipped out. So just put your paper back in where you want it. It does slide in really easy to where you had it. Ink him up. And I'm using grey granite. You can use whatever you want, but I'm using something a little bit softer so it doesn't overpower. And we're going in here. And then straight down. You can do anything, and if you want to just do it one more time to make it just that little bit darker, you can. So if you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up, you get this Stampin' Positioner for free. So I love this idea. Okay, so if you need to know more about joining, you can always contact me and I can talk to you about it. That's not a problem. And you can join from anywhere in Australia. You can join as a smart shopper, as I call them, people that just do it for themselves. Or you can join to do it as a business if that's something that interests you too. If you're a really good card maker and scrapbooker and you want to share your talents, you can do that. Okay, this goes on here. Then this goes in under here. So we're just going to add some glue on the back here. And then you can decorate these pages up. Did you see that? Did anyone else see that? I saw that. I'm going to have to try to get these pages, this off, because it's crooked. So in with my bow folder, because I didn't put a lot of glue, and I can now just turn it straight because I really did put it on crooked. Okay, that's a little bit better, but just going to take that off. Okay, still a little bit. I'm a bit of a fussy character when it comes to making sure it all lines up, and that just did not line up properly. Okay, so with our glue bit here, we're going to come down here. Text can do anything. Let's line this one up straight, and then line this one up, and then make sure I haven't got glue on my fingers because we don't want it on the photo. And our photo is going here, and I just need to add a little bit more glue down here because there wasn't enough there. Okay, double layout done with scraps, but look amazing. Hi Victoria, how are you? So we've got two great grandchildren done here. We've got Frankie on this side and we've got Tex on this side, so they can go whichever way you want. In your book, I'm standing back so you can sort of see what they look like, or you can have them this way, whichever way that goes into your pages. So how gorgeous are they using scraps? Hi Margaret, good to see you. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you, and don't forget Crafty Thursday tonight at 7. We'll see you then. Gift giving time. Catch you then. Bye for now.